Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Everyone understands English. Do you want Russian translation? No.
Dear devotees, at our Bhubaneswar temple here in Orissa, thank you so much for your wonderful reception, not only for me, but for my team, for the devotees with me, for my disciples. We're very grateful. We would like to honor each and every one of you in the same way, so please accept our most humble obeisances. Vanchakalpa Turubhyascha Kripasindu I'd like to read a beautiful poem which has actually been made into a song, which, at least for me, is very appropriate upon visiting this distinguished temple after so many years. I believe the last time I was here, our beloved His Divine Grace Govinda Maharaj was still amongst us, and he has since departed to join the eternal pastimes of Shri Radha and Krishna in the spiritual world. Well, I feel, looking down upon all of us, especially his disciples, his followers, those who are carrying on his work for his spiritual master, our beloved Srila Prabhupada. So I feel a sense of, let's say, separation. For many of us in ISKCON, at that time in the history of this movement, many of us looked up to Govinda Maharaj as a senior-most devotee, very much immersed in beloved service to Srila Prabhupada, as well as having been blessed by Prabhupada for deeper understanding of the deeper mellows of Krishna consciousness. So I always saw him as a Shiksha Guru. And I also see him in his disciples now, like Madhavananda Prabhu, who's been diligently carrying on the work of his spiritual master for so many years, as have all of you. So this is a prayer. It's in a mood of separation. I think it's appropriate for today. My mind longs for the blessed vision of my Guru. It cries out like a thirsty chakora bird. My thirst is not quenched, and I can find no peace without the vision of that blessed person. O Lord and Master, your face is most beautiful, and the sound of your words impart deep wisdom. It has been so long since this rainbird has had even a glimpse of water. Blessed is that land where you dwell, my dearmost friend and spiritual master. I give myself to you now and forever, O deliverer of my soul. When I could not be with you just for one moment, the dark age of Kali Yuga dawned for me. When will I meet you again, O beloved Lord and Master? I cannot endure the night, and sleep does not come to me without your audience. I will surrender everything to have your darshan once again. It was my extreme good fortune to meet you, almost saintly of all persons, and I will find you again in the eternal home where I am meant to dwell. There I will serve you forever, and I shall never be separated from you, even for an instant. I am forever your eternal servant, O my beloved Lord and Master. Lord Govinda Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. My humble self, what it means, I'm very proud of all of you. I speak on behalf of my generation and our GBC body. We're very proud of you that you have carried on the mission of Govinda Maharaj so wonderfully. This project, this temple, and all that it means, preaching within the temple, preaching outside the temple, etc. This was the desire of Srila Prabhupada. Every disciple would love to have a personal instruction from their guru. We have the general instructions, but each disciple would like to have a personal instruction by which they can do their utmost to fulfill, even if it seemingly is impossible. Because a true disciple believes in Prabhupada's words that impossible, this word impossible doesn't exist in our dictionary. What is not possible by the mercy of Guru and Krishna to a faithful disciple? So way back when, Govinda Maharaj received an instruction from Srila Prabhupada to preach in Bhubaneswar, to build a temple here in Bhubaneswar. At that time, Maharaj didn't have so many disciples, so much money, whatever the case. But we fast forward and we see what we see. This temple, this project with its deities and all its glory is a manifestation of Gaur Govinda Maharaj's love for Srila Prabhupada. This is Gaur Govinda Maharaj's love. It's like a boy says to a girl, I love you. And the girl will actually say, well, prove it. Do something. Bring me some flowers. Get me a diamond ring. I'm using a material analogy. Love means you have to prove your love. Love actually means service. If you love someone, you want to serve them. You want to please them without any expectation of anything in return. And that is this project in Govinda Maharaj. Day by day, this temple is going on. The day is there, it turns into night. The night turns into day. The day turns into night. The weeks turn into weeks. The years turn into years. The decades turn into decades. The centuries turn into centuries and beyond. It's like a heartbeat. Boom, 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 boom. So this day, night, week, month, year, century, at this temple, that's the heartbeat of Gaur Govinda Maharaj. It continues on. This is his ongoing service to his spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. Above and beyond everything else he did. So much preaching, fearless preacher. Became so famous in this international society for Krishna consciousness. But because he was 100% unalloyed servant of his spiritual master, we see the results even after he has gone. And we must take inspiration from that. We must take inspiration from that. Like father, like son. Or we could say like father, like daughter. We want to imbibe that quality of full surrender. Full surrender to the mission of my Guru Maharaj. One time Prabhupada said, I do not know who is Krishna. I only know my Guru Maharaj. Of course, he knew Krishna, but he knew that the pathway to pleasing Krishna is through Krishna's representative. Krishna says, anyone who says he's my devotee, he's not my devotee. The one who says he's the devotee of my devotee, he's my devotee. So when we please the devotee, spiritual master, we know we're pleasing Krishna. He's the representative. Just like in this country, you have your governments situated in Delhi, and there's many foreign embassies. French, German, Italian, American, Japanese. And that country is represented by one person, the ambassador. The ambassador of a foreign country represents the entire country. It's quite interesting, actually, because the whole country can't come to India. So one person is deputed. It's a very prestigious position to be an ambassador of a country, to represent your country. You have to be the proper person to represent. So when you please the French ambassador, you please France. If you displease the French ambassador, you displease France. So when we get an ambassador, a representative from the spiritual world, same principle holds true. Krishna is very far away, but he's present in so many amazing ways. In Shastra, in the Dham, in his holy name, and in his representative. So by keeping this preaching going on here at this temple, you're pleasing your spiritual master and thereby getting the blessings of Krishna. We can try, as born in this Kali Yuga, we can try our best in our sadhana. But my feeling is that most of our progress in Krishna consciousness comes by blessings of Hari, Guru, and Vaishnava. Like Prabhupada, in a humorous way, he said one time, Lord Ramachandra, he conquered Ravana, he conquered Lanka with monkeys and bears. Ravana had these Rakshasas and these demons, they were extremely powerful, many had mystic powers. But Prabhupada said, Ram, Lord Ramachandra, what was his army? Monkeys and bears. But they conquered Lanka. So Prabhupada said, in the same way, I'm conquering the world with my disciples. He equated us to monkeys and bears. But empowered by His grace. We want that service, because every day we're sitting and chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Give me service, give me service, give me service, give me. So what is that service? That service was given to Srila Prabhupada in the spiritual world, to come down to this earth planet and preach Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada is who he is in the spiritual world. One time a devotee asked, Prabhupada, who are you in the spiritual world? Prabhupada said, if I told you, you would faint. And we don't think of our spiritual master now in that way. We think of him as he is in this world, preaching. But Prabhupada revealed to one of my godbrothers, who was his secretary for some time. Prabhupada said, Krishna told me, you go down and preach Krishna consciousness on the earth planet. And Prabhupada said, Krishna, I'm not so much inclined towards austerity. I mean, this is the pastime. And Krishna said to our Prabhupada, no, you just go down and write books on the science of Krishna consciousness. I'll arrange everything else. Prabhupada came to America bankrupt, and by the time he left this world, he was a millionaire. But just as detached from that material opulence as he was when he came to America. But he came. And Prabhupada said, I was successful because I had two things. I had faith in the words of my spiritual master. I had faith in the chanting of Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
So like father, like son. Guru Govinda Maharaj got, you could say, almost an impossible instruction from Srila Prabhupada. But Prabhupada did say one time, along with the instruction comes the ability to fulfill it. The disciple must have that faith. And this project success, I remember I came here when there was no temple in the very beginning. I remember. I was much younger. And we heard that these grounds were given or purchased, I can't remember, by Maharaj. And I was thinking, it's so far from Bhubaneswar. Why did he pick this place? But advanced devotees, pure devotees, like Guru Govinda Maharaj, Sri Gyanakal, they have a sense of the past, they have an appreciation for the present, and they have a sense for the future. They can see how things will unfold by Krishna's mercy. Prabhupada said, I have my plan, you have your plan, and Krishna has his plan. So Guru Govinda Maharaj took it, this was Krishna's plan. This was his plan. I was thinking, who's going to come here? It's so far away. And there's not much money in the movement at that time. What's he going to build, a house? And then many years later, I came back, and there was a temple, and there was a highway, and people were coming. And now I come after so many years, it's like we're in the middle of Bhubaneswar now. I was actually told by Madhavananda that the Bhubaneswar has, expanded like cities do, expanded. And this is one of the most populous and most important parts of the country. And we're right in the middle of all, by Guru Govinda Maharaj's mercy. And then Madhavananda said something even more amazing. He said, it's the second most popular temple in Orissa. And I thought, why not the first? He said, well, the first is the Jagannath temple in Jagannath. So that's pretty good if you're number 2. Guru Govinda Maharaj, okay! So let it all go on. And it's meant to expand. It means we have to be surrendered. As surrendered as he was to his spiritual master, Prabhupada, in the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It takes full Atmanivedanam, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Shmaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Bandam, Daksham, Sakyam. Atmanivedanam, there's 9 limbs, there's 9 processes, hearing, chanting, remembering, serving. But Atmanivedanam means full surrender. And fully surrendered, you can do more than you ever imagined you could do by the mercy of Guru. But it takes that full surrender. You have to be fearless, because there will be opposition. There was no opposition in Vrindavan until Krishna appeared. There were no demons. As soon as Krishna appeared, so many devotees came from the spiritual world. Srimati Radharani, Lalita, Vishaka, Rakta, cowherd boys, the cows. The whole spiritual world, in one sense, came. But also, the demons came. There's no demons in the spiritual world. They're just rumors. Rumors demons are coming. So everyone takes more shelter of Krishna. Krishna, help! But in Gokul, there are demons. And they're real demons. Krishna had to fight them. And Padma Purana describes there's 2 classes of men in this world, the divine and the demoniac. And because of proximity, sometimes there's fiction, sometimes there's the fire. So we have to expect. So there's been opposition to this property, but you won in the spirit of your Guru Maharaj. We can't be afraid to be fearless. Raki Krishna Mari Ke, Mari Krishna Raki Ke. Krishna wants to kill you, no one can save you. Krishna wants to save you. No one can kill you. So with that, we go forward in this nasty material world. Right now, things are okay, but who knows what the future? To defend this temple, maybe even with our lives one day. Who knows? History repeats itself. Just like one time, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was on one of his famous Vrindavan parikramas. 50,000 disciples would go around Vrindavan. 50,000. You can imagine the organization. But there were some people who were envious, unfortunately. This is the material world. We can't be surprised. So some envious persons, they were actually brahmanas, as the Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Can you imagine? So he had to run and hide in a house. He just ran into a house. Otherwise he would have been killed with one of his very close disciples, Brahmachari. So the bricks were pounding down on the house and the thugs were threatening to come in. So the disciple said, Maharaj, we have to run out of here. So what we'll do, Guru Maharaj, you give me your sannyasi clothes and your glasses. And you put on my brahmachari clothes and we'll make a run for it. So they did. They switched clothes. That disciple put on the vesh, the sannyas vesh, the dress, the dhoti, kurta, and this is called yurti. This top piece, this we use for begging, like that. And the garland. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati is wearing a garland. So the disciple put on his clothes. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was quite tall, and that disciple, by Krishna's grace, was also quite tall, and garland. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta put on the humble clothes of a brahmachari. You know how brahmacharis are. There's some holes in the dhoti, and little smudge here. They're not. But Guru Maharaj's clothes were very nice. Like Prabhupada was always dressed very nicely in matka silk. It always seemed that Prabhupada's clothes never need ironing. They were without wrinkles. And he always smelled like sandalwood salt, a sandalwood oil, even after a long journey. It was mystical. So this brahmachari put on these clothes, and they opened the door. And in the brahmachari clothes, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati went this way. And in the sannyasi clothes, the brahmachari went that way, and all the hooligans went after him. But he was a young brahmachari. He could run like the wind. And after a while, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was just walking in. So there's an example of surrender, full surrender. Both of them were saved. One time, Sri Ramanujacharya, some envious person, put poison in his food. And it appeared that it was one of the cooks. There were many cooks. We had 10 or 20 cooks. No one could say for sure. But Ramanujacharya found out because he was very merciful. Before he took the prasadam that day, there was a cat, and he threw a little bit of, prasad to the cat. The cat ate it, started vomiting, shivering, and he died on the spot. So Ramanujacharya understood one of the cooks was trying to take his life, in danger. So he decided to fast. He didn't say how long, but several weeks went by. He had not taken anything. He was getting a little weak. But he didn't have faith that one of his disciples could cook under that particular circumstance, in that temple, in that place. So it so happened that one great saintly person requested to have his darshan. But that great saintly person was very old, and he couldn't travel, and he lived far across a desert region. So he requested the audience of Sri Ramanujacharya. So Ramanujacharya said, we will walk across the desert sand to see this saintly person. And 10 or 20 of his disciples accompanied him. He was still fasting, didn't trust anyone to cook for him at that point. And they're walking the days. And the sand, they get to the point where the sand is burning hot. You can get blisters on your feet. But so determined was Ramanujacharya to have the darshan of a saintly person. He kept walking, and blisters were appearing on his feet. Finding one of the disciples, he said, Guru Maharaj, I cannot bear this any longer. And the disciple fell face down, dandavats, not just his feet on the sand, but his whole body in that burning sand. Burning his face, burning his body, burning his feet. Everything was burning. And then he got up and went one more dandavats. He said, Guru Maharaj, you walk on my back across this desert. And he did for a while. The disciple would go down, Ramanujacharya would walk, then he'd go down, like this. So after a few minutes, Ramanujacharya said, stand up. The disciple stood up and he said, my dear disciple, do you know how to cook? He said, Guru Maharaj, I'm a very good cook. He said, all right, cook some prasadam for me. I have faith in you. You showed your full surrender. Of course, we can't imitate these great souls, but we can take a lesson from them according to our capacity, time, place, and circumstance. We should surrender to the mission of our Guru Maharaj. So all of you wonderful devotees here in Bhubaneswar, keep the heartbeat of your Guru Maharaj going. You can hear it. I'm sure you can hear it. Keep the heartbeat day and night, 52 weeks in the year. 100 years in a century, whatever. Keep the heartbeat of your Guru Maharaj's service to Srila Prabhupada going. Expand upon this temple. Ananda Buddhi Bhagavana. Prabhupada said, Krishna consciousness is blissful when it's expanding. And the more you expand this project, the more people can come here, see the beautiful deities, take darshan of the Samadhi Mandir of your Guru Maharaj. You're so blessed. For me, one of the high points of my year is that after a year outside of India, I come back to India, I go to Vrindavan, and there my Guru Maharaj's Samadhi Mandir is there, Srila Prabhupada's Samadhi at our Krishna Balaram Mandir. I go there and I make my annual report. Dear Srila Prabhupada, and I feel I'm in his presence. One time a disciple asked Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when we pray to the great acharyas, the great rishis, the great devotees of the past, who lived hundreds of years ago or thousands of years ago, do those great souls hear our prayers? He asked that to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. To the great souls of the past, hundreds or thousands of years, when we pray to them now, Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, yes, they hear you and they reciprocate with you. So when I go before the Samadhi Mandir of my Guru Maharaj, my hands are trembling as I'm making my report. How many festivals I did, what countries I visited, how many disciples I've accepted because that was his instruction, how many books I've distributed, this, that. I make a report, knowing that he's listening. So satisfying. Those of you who live here in Bhubaneswar, those of you who are direct disciples, or those of you who are fortunate to be here in the midst of the mercy flowing by Gaur Govinda Maharaj's mercy, you can go to his Samadhi Mandir every day and make a report. You are so blessed. So we expect next time we come to see something even bigger than we've seen today. And from the bottom of our hearts, we thank all of you, the initiated disciples and the followers of His Divine Grace, Gaur Govinda, Swami, Maharaj. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. So we want to thank Indradyuma Maharaj for speaking so nicely. And we want to thank all the devotees who came with him. I hope it's not been too uncomfortable for you, you're not too hungry. I wanted to, on behalf of the ISKCON Bhubaneswar temple and also on behalf of myself, present a few publications to Maharaj. These are
Oh, wow.
This is 2 issues of our Krishna Katamrita magazine. This is about the hidden identity of Lord Jagannath. And where's Radharani? Jagannath is here. And this is another research magazine we did about why foreigners are not allowed inside the temple and how that rule originally came from the British. And an interesting article, Maharaj, you may like, that we found some evidence. Aurangzeb,
Oh,
he donated property to Jagannath.
oh, wow.
I don't think anybody's ever found this before.
Wow. Thank you.
And this is Guru Maharaj's book, Embankment of Separation of Emporium. And this is something that I wrote about our Guru Maharaj's life. And a lot of it, so much, is about Srila Prabhupada.
Wow.
And so I wanted to get the same caption together how you can do that.
Yeah, could you just move this back a little bit?
In this lecture, Sir Buddha is saying, good fortune arises when one needs a pure devotee of the Lord. Pure devotee of the Lord. So today, good fortune that your disciple, your devotee of the Lord, His Holiness Indradyuma Swami Maharaj has arrived here to shower his mercy on us. So we are grateful to him and thankful to him. So now time devotees will go to take prasada, and in the meantime we are trying 4 o'clock temple open. 4:15 temple open. We are trying to open temple by 4. Devotees can have darshan of Krishna Balaram.
शशू आम्ही इथं चाललो शशू
जय श्री महाराज की जय गुरुदेव की जय।
अनुभव प्रभू अनुभव